Hey guys, this is Cole from Team Pharaoh, and just doing a updated deck profile on my most recent finished Nekroz deck for the April 1st, 2015 ban list. Currently 140 and no fucks were given. So let's go ahead and get started on the deck profile. This deck is still going to be tier 1 no matter what at the moment because the hit wasn't as bad. Prep to 1 and Brio to 2 wasn't that bad. And I mean, it cuts down the consistency a tad bit, but it's still a pretty relevant deck. Probably still tier 1, if not tier 0. I doubt it's tier 0 because it's not like it's only because Clifford's can still essentially beat it. But anyway, alright, so let's go ahead and get in the main deck. Playing one Dance Princess. The reason for this, just kind of an idea why. It's got a multiple utility, pretty much. There's a few Nekroz players that I've seen on YouTube, or at least their decks that I've seen that they play in. Either they play this or they don't play it, and I do because for a couple of reasons. One, you have this and a searcher. It's pretty much the same thing as Manju Senju. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that, but at the same time, it's also a hand replenisher. When you tribute her for, I think, a ritual by a card effect, you can add a Banished Nekroz card from your banished pile to your hand. So essentially, she's a rank 4 toolbox. She's a hand replenisher, and she's pretty much a guaranteed level 4 to be able to search or have a rank 4 play, or even just for her secondary effect of preventing your opponent from reacting to the ritual summons. So that's that. I also play Tudenko Seka. This is more recent just because I love this card Death personally, and it's good in some cases against the mirror, but at the same time it's not. I would actually keep it in against the mirror because say they main deck Share Ride or something like that, or they main deck Mind Crusher. You know, have answers in the main deck for the mirror, which I'm assuming most people will. So I main this, and it's also more or less more for the rogue decks or Cleese when they set all that back row. You just summon this and you proceed to do your plays. So I also like this, and it's easy side out card, depending on the deck. Like Chaos Dragons who would never set anything or whatever, you never know. But play 2 of her. The Djinn, staple pretty much. Some people choose to not play it. I play it just because it's a extra card, and if you open bad, you can set it for 2,000 defense. 3 Manju, staple again, and this is a little bit weirder of a list in terms of like order. I put this in alphabetical, so got the double Brio. I'm okay with it too. Personally, I only own 2 by the time that the ban list got hit. So anyway, 1 Colossalus. I'm back and forth on this card being from 1 to 2 just because I want to be able to search as much as possible, and I know that the mirrors search themselves essentially, and they stack like no one's business, but you know, this card, 1 or 2, personal preference I guess. I'm trying it out too, but I'm starting to like it because a lot of the time it can be dead, especially when you're almost out of them anyway. 1 Decisive, because this is like my favorite card of the entire deck, just because how big it is and the effect, and I just like the artwork. 1 Trish, because that's really all you need. No more than that. 3 Brio, no, just kidding, 3 Unicorn. This is the Recycler from the graveyard. He's also one of the main cards of the deck because, well, this in conjunction with Kaleidoscope pretty much gets you any ritual card, any card in the deck that has to do with the archetype, which is not bad. I like it a lot. Sometimes I even feel sad whenever I'm running out because it's like really, really good. And double Valk for the Nekroz rituals. I do 2. For 1, I can't afford the 3rd one. I don't want to afford the 3rd one, and I feel like 2 is enough. because again you can replenish it with Unicore. So just basically this deck takes a lot of skill to play, especially in the mirror. And I think 2's fine personally, because I don't feel like it clogs. Yes, it is one of the best cards in the deck, but also there's a misconception about this card. It's not a battle fader, in all honesty. If you read the text and you also go online, there is some discrepancy between whether it's a battle fader or a Soul Scarecrow, and in all honesty, I believe it's a Soul Scarecrow, because by the way it's worded, say you have, your opponent has, like this happened to me online, I attacked with my monsters, and my opponent attacked with a Gungnir, and I had this in hand, and he had another monster on the board, and he goes to attack, and I go Valk, and he goes, alright, we'll chain Gungnir and destroy the one that attacked, and he can still attack. So at least I looked it up, and from according to Wikia, which I actually trust that site pretty well, is right. So just, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just saying that I've been told both, and I'm actually believing the secondary one, where it is a Scarecrow. 3 Senju. Staple again is another searcher. I played at 3, not 2, just because, for one, I kind of want to see them opening hand. If I clog with them, it's not a bad thing, but it could also not be that good. So it's also very easily sided out. 2 Shirt. I was debating between 3 and 2 because I just like to have the full ritual fodder, but 2 is fine, because first of all, you don't want to see it opening hand. I mean, sometimes you do, but not all the time. And you know, he's alright. So, and you have very little warrior targets. You have, like, me personally, I run 4 targets, I believe. 2 Book of Eclipse and a Book of a Moon. Easy side-out cards against some decks. I actually really like this because, first of all, I love this card. This card is the nuts, in my opinion, just because it's utility. This whole deck is utility to me. A lot of the card choices I've picked are either really standard or personal choice, and I like just 2. I don't like 3. I mean, if I get Digit Unlocked and I don't have an out to it, that such is life, but this has more utility inside the deck than it does outside, because you can use this with Manju, Senju, and you can flip them back up if you have them, and then Manju, Senju get their effects, so which I thought was pretty good. And of course, like I said, out to Vision. 2 Lance. I saw Desmond Johnson playing this card, and this card is another utility card, like I was saying. It's got offensive, defensive, and just overall decent utility for the deck, because it's a safeguard, essentially, for your summons, for your monsters. Especially like against Cleese, it's not bad because they skill drain you. You can lance it, you can banish it with Trishula, whatever. And you can even lance their sacrificed, which is at 1, sacrificed monster, which isn't bad. So it's really good. I liked his idea about it. So I'm definitely going to try it out. And overall, like, this deck loses to back row a lot, so it's another thing. Triple MST, I know Vanity's Emptiness and Skill Drain got hit to 1, but at the same time, in regards to Cleese and all the other back row, like, that's out there, like Macro, Defissure, I feel like his main is still good, because it's, I don't know, I can't seem to get myself to cut it. And if I do, then I feel like I'm just going to straight up lose, especially in Rogue. I know I shouldn't be worried about it, but I am. 2 Cycle, again, 2. I love this card. This one is my favorite next to Kaleido, just because you can do this, you can use this in multiple ways. So it's this one card won me games today at the local. So 2 Kaleido, again, this card is pretty good. So I played 2. I've thought about 3, but 2 is just consistent. And 2 Mirror. This is my least favorite, surprisingly enough. This is my least favorite. It's only really good late game when you want to banish something from the grave. I hate banishing, like, Brio and Colossus with it, just on Trish. And sadly, the 1 preparation rites, but again, it's not so bad. I actually think when I see this card now in my hand, late game or whatever, or mid to late game, it kind of brightens my day, because then that means I'm going to get +2 off one card, and it could potentially bring me back. Instead, I also hate seeing it open hand, because essentially it's a 1-for-1, not a 2-for-1. So this is fine. I don't really care about this being hit to 1. In all honesty, it's not a big deal. 1 Regeki and 2 Rota. Regeki stays. For 1, I finally picked one up, and 2, like, it's just a complete blowout card. It's one of those very powerful winnows. And then 2 Rota, I can search Shrit with this, I can search Colossalus. Pretty much this is a 3rd Shrit and a 2nd and 3rd Colossalus. So I'm pretty much, I also dropped Colossalus to 1 because of this reason. So yeah, that's the main deck. Some of my card choices are personal, like Dance Princess and Denko Seka, but, to each his own. Let's go ahead and move on to the extra deck. I'm going to side deck in a second. Sorry, I'm using my computer. Dweller. Actually really good in the mirror match, and pretty decent against BA. This is actually a lot easier to make in this deck now than I thought it would be, but at least certain turns when you have like a Manju Senju and a Unicorn. So Exodon Knight, used this a couple times today and won me some games. That's why this card's price is still pretty high. And his brother is in here too. I'll show you in a minute. Lavalval Chain, kind of a staple Exceed at the moment. And the next one is Deku Emerald. This card is nuts, because what is it? Going at a certain point in the mirror match, you can put your stuff back and then just tribute it off with Valkyris. Is pretty good. I want 2. I don't remember how much this card is going for, but 2 would be really, really powerful in this deck, because the ability to survive and to replenish your resources is really, really good. And plus, actually, with this and Valk, you don't minus anything. Usually, if you go first turn, this and Valk and Lavalval Chain, it's a -1, especially if you went +1 with Manju. So I was like, alright, I like 2. Diamond Dar, this opens up plays, if like this card alone pretty much like opens up either like a floodgate, like Mistake or something like that, or Imperial Animal, and it also allows me to go Trish if I really want to, which I did a couple times today. So this sort of just opens the door for some certain plays. This card is really actually decent against Glees, but it's actually really, really good against certain decks like Yosenju's, or even, Spirit Beast, anything that, like, obviously that has different attack, but this can guarantee a win sometimes, because I summoned in on my friend today who was playing Yosenju's, and he had Tanky up. I was like, alright, anything you summon, I'm going to immediately plus off of. So it was just a guaranteed play. Steel Swim Roach. This, Emerald, and Lance are all ideas that I got from Desmond when I'm watching his ARG Hartford deck profile of his deck. And he says this worked for Pendulums. Essentially, if they hit the board, then they're level 4s, but if they don't hit the board, which this prevents, they're negated and go to the graveyard. So I think it's decent. I don't know. I haven't really tested it, and I haven't really gotten verification, but I feel like he's right. Like, it stops the pendulums, especially if there's multiple. I don't know about, I don't know about multiple, but 1 at least is fine. Since they all come out at once, maybe, but we'll know. We'll know later. Gaga Cowboy, Game Ender. You can push for game really easily with this deck sometimes. And then this one's probably going to come out, Rhapsody. This is one more card to me in this deck. It doesn't have much utility, so I'd rather be Emerald, but for now, this is it, because if you have Lavalval Chain and then you have Colossalus and they can't do anything, you can probably go into this next turn and just do stuff. So, 5-headed for, the Valkyris, Unicorn, Summon, and the same thing for Quasar. So yeah, Shooting Star, he's at 10, so You can do Brio and Unicore or Gungnir and what is it? Colossus. Sorry. And Starter, another one where you can just send them and summon 2 at the same time, which is not bad. I don't know if I want this in the deck though. And then of course 2 Arclight, one of the most broken synchros to come out for this deck. Indirectly, mind you, but I'm pretty sure Konami knew what they were doing. It's the extra. Put it on the side. Let's see, 2 Share Ride. Again, like me personally, I like cards at 2 just because of the consistency issues, and this is clearly for the mirror match. Not really anything else. That's why I don't main it. Yeah, I'm going to be seeing a lot of mirrors if in tournaments, but I feel like this would be better on the side than Lance, because game 1s can be more important, and I mean, yes, in the mirror, like, this would probably be better, but at the same time, you're not going to only see mirror. So 2 to me is fine. And of course, this card you have to play at 3 now because everything searches. So this is pretty much like this either turns the tables or this guarantees you a win in most cases. So 3 of these, Mind Crush. Trying to see if there's any glare on the cards, but anyway, you know what these are. 1 Kaiku. One of my favorite spellcasters in the entire game. Played it in Judgment format with spellbooks when I had it. Only 1 because you have like 9 different normal summons, so you probably just side out a Denko Sekka or a Dance Princess, just put them in. In the mirror, this is actually really good because if you have this and you have game, they can't Valk you, because from what I understand, the mirror is a lot of try to push and then tribute off for Valk and then pass. So if you can get your opponent to a point where they have to Valk in order to save themselves for next turn, you summon this and it's over. They can't really do anything because they can't Valk. And so I think 1's fine. 2 might be a little cloggy because you want to see the other stuff. So I did have it at 2, but I was like, nah. 2 Maxi. Obvious reasons. This actually goes in conjunction with Shared Ride, in my opinion, because like you side this and Shared Ride against Nekroz and the mirror, and you at least have 1. So you pretty much, what this card is and what Shared Ride is control in the mirror. So that's the whole idea of it. And even this against Burning Abyss is not bad. So yep. And then Gungnir. I side Gungnir. Well, a lot of people are like, why? That's kind of dumb. You might as well main it, if not at all. Gungnir, I don't like in the main because it's virtually useless in a lot of cases. It's really good against Rogue, and it's really good against the mirror once you know that they're playing like Dark Hole or Regeki or whatever. But since people seem to be moving away from Dark Hole and Regeki, unlike myself, Book of the Moon is all you got. So Lance, I feel like, is decent. When people say Book of Eclipse is bad, I'm like, it's not bad. It's just I guess either they don't see the utility that you can get out of it, or I don't know. Ever since the Hoban thing, it's all just up in the air now. I love this card. This card against anything that has a bunch of back row is fantastic. This actually won me a game today because we were using a new ban list, and my last opponent was Cleese, and he activated Skill Drain on my Senju, and I had this in hand. He had 3 other cards on the field. I was like, alright, cool, chain. He's like, what? That's a trap card. What are you doing? So I like this card for its ability to activate in the hand. It doesn't require you to pay 500 light points because Twister is the same thing essentially. But at the same, I like this because it catches people off guard. They don't expect a trap card to be coming down from the hand on their turn. You're like, oh, well, that's kind of gay. So this won me a game. I love the card art. It's really cool. This is supposed to be a 3rd one, but for now it's just Fairyland because it is. Fire and 2 Ice Hands. The reason why it's 2 and 1 because well, essentially, like everything else in the side deck, it's for back row hate. This is pretty much, I mean, hell, you could even side this against the mirror if they go Digital Lock you first turn, which is kind of stupid. Because you really don't want to see this, but this is more or less for Cleese and Rogue and all the other matchups, because why not? But anyway, that is my deck profile. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you have any questions, just comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I guess I can. But anyway, thanks. Team Pharaoh out.